Students, today my topic is a poem Daffodils. It is written by William Wordsworth. So, what do you mean by daffodils? Actually, it is a kind of flower which grows in water. So, it we can find it in spring, this daffodil. So now let me first read the poem. Sentences are first. I wandered as a cloud that floats on high over vales and hills, when all at once I saw a crowd, a host of golden daffodils beside me, beside the lake, beneath the trees, fluttering and dancing in the breeze. So, in the first sentence of the poem, the poet say, I wander. I here refers to the poet himself. And wander means moving without purpose. Lonely means alone as a cloud that floats on high over vales and hills. The poet says that I was wandering, lonely, all alone, like a cloud that floats, that moves over the vales and the hills without any direction. So the poet also, he has not any kind of purpose. He was wandering, and then during this wandering, when all at once I saw a crowd, a host of golden daffodils. So the poet says, all at once, suddenly I saw a crowd of golden daffodils beside the lake, beneath the trees, fluttering and dancing in the breeze. The poet says that he saw the golden daffodils moving and dancing with excitement in the breeze. So, in the first stanza of the poem, the poet says, I was wandering like clouds. As the clouds, they float over the valleys and the hills without any direction. So, the poet has not any kind of purpose. He was wandering. All of a sudden, or we can say suddenly, he saw the golden daffodils moving and dancing beside the lake or under the trees and with excitement in the breeze. So this is the first. Now the second. Continuous as the stars that shine and twinkle on the Milky Way, they stretched in never-ending line along the margin of a bay. Continuous as the stars that shine. In the second stanza of the poem, the poet says that these daffodils were countless. They were shining like stars, and they were so countless like the Milky Ways. So the poet here gives us it is here a simile. The poet compares the daffodils with the stars. He says that these daffodils, they were sparkling, they were shining like the stars, and they were twinkling on the Milky Way. They stretched in never-ending line. The poet says that just like the stars, they have not any end. So These daffodils have not any end along the margin of a bay. Along the margin of a bay means by the side of the lake. So, 10,000 saw I at gallons tossing their heads in separately dawns. So the poet says that I saw, in one side I saw the countless, and they were tossing their heads means they were dancing. They were dancing their heads, they move their heads up and down in a separately dance in a very joyful manner. They dance. So in the second sentence of the poet now compares these daffodils with stars. They are shining like the stars, they are countless like the stars, and the poet says that at first glance, at first sight, perhaps I saw 10,000, that means countless, and they were moving pleasantly here, and their heads were moving here, and they are tossing their heads in a separately, joyfully dance. The waves beside them dance. Now, the poet says in the third sentence of the poem, the waves beside them danced, but they outdid the sparkling waves in glee. The waves also danced, but the poet says that their dance was super. So the poet says that their dance was surpassed. It was the dance of the daffodils was more pleasant and more charming than the waves. So the poet says the waves were happy. So were the daffodils? They dance happily, but the daffodils seemed so powerful. The daffodils seemed surpassed. They were dancing more pleasantly and more happily, more charmingly than the waves. A poet could not be but gay. A poet could not be but gay. Gay means happy. In such a jocund company means charming. We can say happy company also, pleasant company also. Wealth here refers to the happiness. Now what the poet says here, a poet could not be but gay. In such a jocund company, I gazed and gazed, but little thought what wealth the show to me had brought. The poet says the poet enjoyed the cheerful and pleasant company of these flowers, of these daffodils. And he says, and the poet says that it attracted the poet. And it attracted so the poet was so fascinated with the beauty of this pleasant company. He says, I gazed and gazed. I looked towards them, but little thought what wealth they show to me. What the poet says, I watched the beautiful scene for a long time without knowing the treasure of this, knowing the treasure of these pleasant things. And then he says that it filled my mind with pleasure and with happiness. Now the last sentence of the poem is, far oft when on my couch I lie, in vacant or in pensive mood. Here in these lines, these natural objects, especially here the daffodils, it seems a source of joy, a source of comfort to the poet. He says, far oft when on my couch means bed, I lie in a vacant Vacant means idle or pensive mood or thoughtful mood. Now, what happens? They flash. They here refers to the daffodils. Flash upon that inward eye, with which is the bliss of solitude. Inward eye actually means inner vision of the soul, that is mind. The point says, sometimes when I felt very sad or when I felt gloomy and I lie on my bed and the flash upon the inward eye. The flash means the light, the sight comes, the sight of the beautiful, the pleasant daffodils come into my soul. They reflect the sight, this beautiful sight reflect to my soul, to my heart, inward eye, which is the bliss of solitude, and it gives, and it is the reconciliation of my solitude means loneliness. And what happens then? And then my heart with pleasure fills. And with these pleasant objects, these daffodils, these my heart fills with glory and joy and dances with the daffodils. And so I also, in my imagination, I also dance with the daffodils. That is the poem about daffodils.